What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Oil Stream, 12:03 here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I know Tommy's chair is empty right now, but he's on a call. He'll be sliding in here shortly. We'll be talking all things Oilers today. Who are they going to go after in Europe and how they're going to fit in and all that fun stuff. And obviously, we'll get to last night's game. Can you just flush it? Can you flush last night's game? Can we get into that? Are you concerned about Matthias Ekholm and his ability to impact the playoffs in a positive way? Zedmo says, Tommy's outside, he's shoveling. I do like the ideas of where is Tommy at this very moment. He's on a phone call, and maybe we'll just...
he's definitely not shoveling.
Yeah, he's not shoveling. Like, when was the last time Tommy shoveled something, Hernan, do you think?
Guys that pretty don't shovel.
I don't think he should. No. Reed Wilkins, what's up? You want to slide into the chair here until Tommy's done with the call? There you go. Reed Wilkins in the house. What was Zach running about there? What are you running for, Zach?
What was all this? Well, Tom's got an actual IFB. That's fancy.
Yeah, he's a fancy TV boy. How are things, Reed?
Yeah, things are great.
Yeah?
Boy, the weather is awful.
Ah, man,
the weather is
sucks,
horrific.
Eh?
Okay, Tom's here.
Yeah, see you later, Reed. That was perfect timing. A comedic genius.
Oh, man.
Just how the weather's awful. Oh, God. That's too funny.
Sorry, I was wishing my good friend Bob a happy birthday.
We wished him a happy birthday on the show this morning.
We certainly did, we should. He's a good man. He's a good man.
How old is Stoff?
No older than 39.
I thought so. Yeah, that's what I thought. Poor Stoff. Like we said this morning, we talked about this morning. Somebody texted in and said, Stoff was so mad / sad, he barely even talked in the third period last night. And Mooner had to carry the broadcast because he looked, Stoff didn't take last night's loss very well. He was pretty sad about it.
Listen, he's
and the night before his birthday, that's
a crappy treat.
That's a tough one. Anyway, happy birthday to Stoff once again.
Sobe Kirk, I like this one. Big gulps, hey? We'll see you later, Reed.
Oh, see you later, yeah. Man, this weather sure is tough, hey? Yeah, okay, well, see you later. Yeah, that was good.
Stoff did mention that there was a listener of ours in Alabama.
Oh, no way.
That messaged him and said, hey, the boys at ESD were talking about you.
Okay.
So Bob wanted to vet that. And I was like,
I think we didn't say anything bad about Stoff.
No. But I even said to him, Stoff, I even said on the hangout today that you were quiet and you didn't look too happy in the intermission.
Yeah. Well, and I said this morning that nobody's more connected to the team than Stoff.
Yeah.
And if he's talking about these European guys, then they're obviously going to be going in the European guys. And it's not like it's Stoff's idea. He's just passing along what he knows.
We confirmed
and then we can talk about that conversation. Yeah, Szymanski we know is coming. It's just going to be announced at some point.
Talked about it.
There'll be some of these other guys. What I did find was interesting. We might as well just go there as we're talking about the birthday boys. You just got off a birthday call with them.
Yes.
What I found interesting, maybe out of the whole game last night, was that second intermission when Stoff did say that there's one guy who will be on the roster next year and another guy who might need some time in the American Hockey League. But is this Szymanski kid going to be given a spot on the roster next year?
Yeah, this is the thing. I just know that he's going to be signed. They'll make it official in due
That's why
time.
I thought it was an interesting story when Stoff said that they're signing somebody somewhere that does not have an NHL contract right now anywhere that's going to be on the team next year.
Could that be a college guy, though? Or is it specifically European?
I can't remember the exact wording. I think most people thought the European angle on it.
Right. I don't know, man. All I know is they're going to sign this guy, the kid out of Germany, Szymanski. Josh Szymanski is the name.
Szymanski, yeah. Played in the OHL, did a year in the O, only scored 4 goals. I mean, he just looks like a typical big guy who had to find his game a little bit, a late bloomer maybe.
Yeah, I'm very leary of the European
I heard you last night. I agree with you.
9 times out of 10, it doesn't work out. We were talking about it in the bullpen earlier too. Do you remember Fabian Brunstrom?
What? Oh man, I totally forgot about Fabian Brunstrom.
Like a pretty solid rookie year with Dallas. I think they won.
Yeah, he was a big deal though. Remember
that the bidding war and then it just faded away so quickly. It not to say you can't uncover a diamond in the rough, but I'm just so leery of it myself personally. I don't want to poo-poo it. I'm just like, okay.
I've been fooled enough times getting excited about when they bring some of these guys over. You're like, oh man, maybe they've really found. And then for the most part, they're always the same guy.
Yep.
Now, Szymanski's bigger.
Sure.
He's got some experience he's having a nice year this year, but I don't know if it's tough for us to just read into numbers in the German league. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know if anybody, like, I don't know if you should be going to anybody who's playing overseas and be like, you can come be on the roster next year with the Edmonton Oilers.
They've done that.
I know, but you can't. They shouldn't be doing that. They're supposed to have a Stanley Cup caliber roster.
Yeah.
You can't go to a guy who's been unsigned, regardless of how old he is over there, and be like, hey, man, you're on the team no matter what. Like, hey, if they want to say, come on over and see how it goes, I guess. And, the fact that they're going to have to sign maybe some Canadian college hockey guys, American college hockey guys, more European guys to fill out the rest of the pipeline, essentially. It's
they need to get that restocked.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a free way to do it, essentially. But yeah, I thought that was, now this probably says something about the game last night, that Stoff talking about some European free agents ends up being the biggest news
they're
from
getting
it.
Their asses kicked. Second intermission, it's over. They just had 3 goals scored in a 2-minute and 30-second span or whatever it was.
Yeah, just
on
a
top
disaster.
of the fact that they got lit up for 2 early in the period as well. They just didn't have any jams. So yeah, Stoff took it to a different topic, and you can only put so much, as we said last night, sugar on a turd.
Yeah, you guys are saying that a lot of sugars on turds.
Cass and I just kind of took it. It was late.
That's about as vulgar as Cass will get.
He is such a sweetheart.
How was Boston Pizza last night? Eric came in this morning and was just like Eric had a time last night.
Well, first of all, thank you to Curtis and Tony, Cindy, Charlene, Faith. They're all fantastic over there. And we had a great time. Thank you to all the nasties who showed up. We had a good contingent. The weather, this is the second time where a pre and post game watch party got hit with inclement weather, like a blizzard type condition that it kept people back. But fun was still had. Tony from BP Westgate, he declared me with trumpets blaring the president of the Evan Bouchard fan club. He was
he's the president of the Evan Bouchard hate club.
That's right.
Like, you got,
and I think it all hinged on me saying one nice thing about Bouchard this week. And I was like, okay, Tony, I can't.
Can you be the president of 2 fan clubs? Because you already are the president of the Matthias Janmark fan club.
That's a great point.
Right? I don't know if you can be the president of 2 fan clubs.
Could you be a co-president or maybe a vice president of the Evan Bouchard fan club? I'm not the president of the Evan Bouchard fan club. I do recognize his what he does bring to the table that is really good, and I do also recognize the blemishes in his game. So, but it was funny. Tony was just all over me. We had a good time. Gave away some prizes. Hopefully that eased some of the pain for some of the Oilers faithful that showed up, and then we had a fun show. And Cass lives in Sherwood Park, so he had a long.
That's a long trek in that weather too. Yeah.
I think I got home at like 1.
Really?
Yeah, it was a late one.
You might have beat Ekholm.
Well, he walked.
Oh, yeah, he did walk. Yeah.
I kind of wondered, I half wondered if he just walked here and slept on the couch.
He might have. He's been walking to work.
He's getting his steps
He's a
in.
big walking step guy right now. And maybe he did. Who knows?
I just want to shout out Matthew Iwanek, by the way. As I was wrapping up that call with Bob, he's like, it's past 12.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I know.
Well, but we had Reed filling in for you.
It was great. But I even said to you, I'm like, okay, I'm going to finish this up. Anyway, but Matty was just like passive aggressive. Mm-hmm. It's past 12. Yes, yeah. I know, Matthew.
I mean, would you call Stoff right before he starts his show and talk to him?
I'm going
a few minutes into it.
That's exactly what happened.
Right? Like, that's what you have to think about here. So,
yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah. Should I do that?
You should return that favor tonight.
Tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
How quickly does
he can't hang up because he loves talking so much.
He was on fire.
Yeah.
It was a great talk. Happy birthday, Bob.
Yeah. I just texted him. I said, happy birthday. All right. So last night's game, let's get into your Popeyes headlines. If there's any value menu items left after Reed Wilkins went in there yesterday and took them all, you can get them right now at Popeyes. Reed went with the cauliflower yesterday.
Yeah, he said
it was
good.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Also on the nugs. He was on the nugs as well.
The nugs
said
are
he's
great.
trying the whole menu. Makes sense.
That's a true fan of Popeyes.
I was thinking of bringing in Popeyes for the staff meeting on Monday night, but I also think Reed will be too distracted that he won't even pay attention during the staff meeting on Monday night if we have Popeyes here.
I think that'd be a fun experiment.
You think so?
I do.
I mean, maybe.
And get him like a soda of some sort because he's adamant about that.
Here's the question, and send in your text. Bunch of texts rolling in. We'll get to them. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Over in the Nasty Chat as well. If you're watching over on YouTube today, smash the thumbs up for us here as we taking you up to EST afternoons on a Friday. That Oilers conversation, of course, will continue with Hernan and Gager. Hernan's not feeling too great right now after getting pumped by Maddie and Tecmo earlier this morning.
He is salty.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty bitter. And then the Reed Wilkins show with Glue Guy and Reed from 3 to 6 today.
Lively bullpen today, I have to say.
Oh, everybody's a big cologne conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We are on opposite spectrums. Like, we were sitting there, and I was just like, I don't think it'd be coming. And everybody else is like, I dabble in cologne a little bit. Then you walked in, and people are like, Tommy, what? And you're like, I've got several colognes.
I do. I probably have a lineup of about 8.
How often do you rotate through these things?
I try to switch it up. I have one that my mom got that's like a little daily. It's not too overpowering or anything like that. And then she's got, my mom is huge into fragrances and stuff.
Yeah.
So she's built up this arsenal of colognes, if you will.
Really?
And you just one little spritz.
Just a little spritz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you don't want to be, there are some guys that I swear to God, they bathe in it.
It's just too much.
Obnoxious. It's downright rude and it ruins the scent. But you want just that hint, and you
just a little bit of it.
You meet somebody, they get closer, you're like, oh, that guy smells good.
Yeah. No, like my wrists still smell pretty good from this morning.
Yeah,
we put some on this morning.
Yeah,
so
there's no BO in this.
But anyway, you
today.
have real good vibes around the office today, despite
Great
the weather
fun.
outside. They go, there's losing the Kraken. Doesn't impact us. We're good to go. Let's discuss this.
Yeah.
So here's where we'll go for the headlines. Can you just flush this game last night? Because a lot of people, I said this morning, I said I don't really care too much about what happened on the ice last night.
Yeah.
It was the second half of a back-to-back. They don't have the big boys. But then, some people are like, yeah, but they're a Stanley Cup contender. Like, I don't know if there's games that you can flush when you're a Stanley Cup contender, which I would still stand by my take on that. I'm not overly concerned about much that happened last night. If they go out with that same lineup against Calgary and the same thing happens, then you start, I mean, that's a different game. It's not a back-to-back. It's at home. It's Saturday night. Calgary, I mean, the game means a ton for Calgary.
Yeah.
Edmonton's got to get it together here, too. Like, if they come out and fall apart in the second period against the Calgary Flames, you won't find me in the chat after the game being like, hey, don't worry about it, flush it. But I don't know. Last night's game, I'm like, whatever. What are you going to do?
They put up a good fight on Wednesday, right? The exact same lineup, but with Stu Skinner starting. Not finishing, obviously. No Ekholm, too. We should point that out. Their second periods, both nights, awful.
Yeah. Yeah, both nights. That is true.
I think that is this group that we're talking about here that will likely be the group that plays Calgary tomorrow. Watch out. Have a better second period. Clean it up. Do whatever. Try to repeat what you're doing in the first period of both games where you're controlling play, getting lots of zone time, engaged. And then it's just the second period, absolutely, they crumble, and they have the last 2 nights. So that would be something you want to keep tabs on. But what are you going to do about last night? Are you going to dwell on it? Are you going to pick apart that dog pile piece of crap? Or do you just say, okay, restart, refresh, focus on the Flames?
I think there's a lot of stuff we could pick apart if it was like the first half of a back-to-back. And, like Wallman did not have a good game last night.
No, and he had been tracking that way for a few games now.
I
Cass
know.
brought it up a couple of games ago.
So what do you think they have in Wallman?
A good defenseman that isn't immune to making mistakes. He has like 1 or 2 bad ones a game. The one that he had last night was egregiously bad.
Yeah,
and it finally cost
awful.
him.
I thought that was I know there's a lot more that happened after that, but that was a little bit of a dagger. I mean, giveaway boom back of the net, down 2-0, second back to backs. Like, I didn't see much fight coming for them after that.
No, they were deflated. If that goal had stood, if Connor Brown hadn't slightly ticked it with his high stick.
But he did. They got that call right.
And it was the right call. Maybe that would have given them that little push or that little oomph and confidence, and it would have been taking it down a different path. But overall, the Kraken just had their way with the Oilers. And
it was nasty. You know Eddie the Gambler?
I know Eddie the Gambler. Yeah.
Eddie's melting down yesterday. He's like, what the? And I was flipping. After they went down 2-0, I started to flip back and forth with the Duke game and the other basketball game. And Eddie's texting me after like all those goals. He goes, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Man, they allowed another." So I flipped back and then I caught up to the rest of the second period in the intermission. I kind of whipped through it, and it was not good. I mean, the second period was absolutely atrocious last night.
They had nothing. They had no juice. No juice. Maybe a bit in the first.
So what do you expect against Calgary?
Well,
are you expecting the same lineup? Like, is Ekholm going to play, you think, on Saturday? Or?
I don't know, because Ekholm traveled, okay?
Yeah.
And then they announced he's not playing, and they give him a maintenance game off, right?
But he had traveled.
So the expectation, if you travel, is you're probably going to play, unless you've just been a healthy scratch of late, like Amberson, like Klingberg. So he traveled. So the expectation was probably he was going to play it. Something came up. They said, no, you're being held out for maintenance reasons. That, to me, is like, not good, especially after you just gave him 2 weeks off to recuperate.
I know, yeah.
From whatever is ailing him. And then, so I'm hopeful from an Oilers fan standpoint that Ekholm plays. And part of me thinks that maybe we see Leon.
Think so?
And that's not me asking people. It's just Leon generally doesn't sit out. Hasn't over the course of his career. I don't have a lot of faith in the timeline Knobloch provides for us anymore, because they don't turn out to be that straightforward and honest and truthful. You know, he puts up those smoke screens in a nice, polite way.
Yeah.
So hopeful for Ekholm. Part of me feels like Leon might say, "Screw this! I can't sit. I'm ready. I'll go play.
Let's just go. I'll go play.
Let's go. Let's go beat the Flames. Then I can take the next day or two off."
780-218-9999. Collingwood Rob says, "I've resigned myself for the Oilers to hold on to the third spot in the division. Get the boys healthy and then unleash hell in game one on the road in the playoffs." You know, it's funny because the injury everybody should be most concerned about, or whatever's going on, what everybody should be most, it's Ekholm for me.
Yep, he's the best defenseman.
Draisaitl and McDavid are going to be fine. Kane and Frederick, I mean, we've seen them be a good team this year without those guys. But Ekholm, there's something.
It's concerning.
I don't know what he looks smaller on the, like, I don't know. Like, I think Ekholm's health could end up being the downfall of the entire thing come playoff time. Like,
he even looks skinny.
I know.
In the locker room.
Yeah.
Compared to what,
yeah, because you see him in he looks skinny in what he does.
His like t-shirt and shorts and stuff, but you're like, is it the beard? Is it because the beard is trimmed up, or is he skinnier? And Cass brought that up. He goes, "Does Ekholm look
on the ice? He looks
trimmer."
Skinnier. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but not like. And he wasn't coming in as like this Thor type Viking. He was, but you could see he was like very built well. And now it's kind of like, are you a distance runner compared to a sprinter? Like that's what I mean in body composition.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Yeah. Those guys have different bodies. Like.
Yeah, power versus agility. And I don't know if it's deliberate or if it's just age, wear and tear taking its toll, not being able to go through a full. I honestly don't know, but something's not right, and that's why he's missing all this time.
KB's asking, and we're in your Popeyes here, the spicy headlines. KB saying, why not rest Ekholm until the playoffs? He's obviously not healthy.
Because you still need to win games. and this defense, we've seen, is not very reliable still. But I understand the rush. I know what KB means by that.
Don't they have an easy schedule?
Yeah, they do, but they just pissed one away to Seattle.
You got Wallman, Kulak, and Nurse on your left side.
I know.
I mean,
I understand where KB's coming from.
I think it's a valid conversation.
I agree.
If he's like, because it's.
But if I would counter that, that's what I would say.
But let me ask you this: is he really helping them win hockey games right now?
Ekholm?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Anytime he's in the lineup,
man, he might have had his worst game ever 2 games ago.
He was not great.
Like, I don't know how much he's helped. Like, so you let him continue to impact, and he hasn't been good for well over a month, like month and a half.
He hasn't been the Ekholm we're used to.
No, exactly. But I'm saying, like, do you want this Ekholm for 10 more games and into the playoffs, or do you want a rested Ekholm for the playoffs?
I probably want to rest it at home for the playoffs. And I think that's what they tried to do. Thinking, okay, you had 2 weeks off. You missed 6 games. Are you good? Yep. Okay, let's try it. And it wasn't great.
Calvin C, and you can fire some questions over. It's a Friday. Let's free for all this thing. Get your questions in here at 780-218-9999 or over in the nasty chat as well. And we'll get to a few of those. Calvin C over in the nasty chat says, Dusty/Tommy, do you think the Oilers would still have traded for Frederick if they knew he wouldn't be ready until the playoffs? I'm assuming it was known prior to second round pick wouldn't be the ask.
Yes, the known part, obviously, right? Like,
well, they did a bunch of retention on him, and it's not even going to be necessary if he doesn't play the playoffs.
I know, and
see, for me, that's the reason I thought they must have thought he was playing in the regular season, which he still could.
Sure,
but he might not. But they must have thought he was playing in the regular season, or why would you go and have all the retention and everything? Like, if you would have known.
Yes, I get it.
Right? Like,
I'm reacting this way because this was something we were talking about in the bullpen, and I was thinking about, and when Frederick's name came up, and I said to Joaquin and Jay and Reed, I'm like, I'm starting to get concerned about how the roster construction is unfolding. You're going and picking up guys who are hurt and aren't contributed to the team now.
Yeah.
May not contribute to the team in the future. I'll use these examples. Trent Frederick is
I like
a great
Frederick. It's like a person named Trent is dating a person named Frederick, and their couple name is
Frederick. Or Riedrich.
Riedrich.
Right.
Yeah, that's your nickname.
Trent Frederick is the prime example. Alec Regula is a great example. For crying out loud, Roby Arventi.
I mean, that was damaged goods when you got him.
And how many? John Klingberg. Why does this keep happening? And that to me is alarming. It's like, and I want to have faith. I want to have or be in a position to give Jeff Jackson and Stab Bowman the benefit of the doubt and trust their instincts and ability to construct this team. But you've gone out and got Frederick at the deadline. Can't even play because he's hurt. And you knew he was hurt. You picked up Alec Regula off of waivers, knowing full well he's rehabbing a torn knee. You go and you trade Xavier Bourgault, who, okay, maybe he was a non-prospect at this point, for a guy that hasn't even played this year, and by all accounts, from what I was told, had to get more work done on his knee a couple months ago.
Yeah.
There's even people saying, I don't know if he's even coming back next year. He might just stay in Finland. And then you've got John Klingberg, which that signing, people at first were going, oh, maybe he replaces, Bush. Maybe he's Darnell Nurse's partner. He's clearly not well, and it's not working out. Like, that to me, I'm going, all right, look at all these guys you went and got. None of them can even play. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And so
literally can't even play. Like, yeah.
When that text that you read came in, I reacted because I'm like, oh yeah, like they just keep picking up guys who are hurt. You want to win the Stanley Cup right now, don't you? And then the other thing with Frederick is he even coming back next year? He's a free agent. He's from St. Louis. Hasn't played a single game here.
Yeah, it's less than an ideal situation.
It's very concerning. So that I just wanted to explain my reaction for those that were watching.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in. We'll get to some of your texts. If you're watching over YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us.
Can I add salt in the wound really quickly?
I think I know.
And we're talking about guys that are in Europe that nobody has signed before, and maybe college players being on the roster. This is something I'm getting flashbacks to 2017-18.
I know.
I hope it doesn't go in that direction. That's where. Sorry,
I thought you were going to go Holloway because I'm going to talk about that here.
Well, if you want it, I didn't even. Let's talk.
I want to get to a couple of texts.
Yeah.
Because there's two different conversations I want to have around Holloway because it just looks worse and worse and worse, and it didn't have to be that way. They could have fit him in. Anyway, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Let's see here. No, just screw it then. We'll just get to. Okay, so here's a question I have for you.
Okay.
We know, especially over the last 15 years, there's been some bad decisions made by Oilers management.
Oh, yes.
Various managements.
Correct.
Where does not matching on Dylan Holloway fit in that conversation for you?
It's skyrocketing to the tippy top.
It might be just below the Reinhart trade for me. I still think Reinhart trade is the stupidest thing that ever happened. Even when it happened, people at that draft were like, "What? I don't know." And you know when it's like instantly bad, you're like, "Oh man, why?"
Oh yeah.
And then turning Eberle into Strome and Strome into Spooner and Spooner into nothing.
It's a Gagne.
That one's right up there too. But that's how bad this looks right now on this group. Holloway's going to score 30 and be one of the key contributors in getting the Blues to the playoffs. They're 2 points behind the Oilers, for goodness sake.
Yes.
And I also it might be the worst offer sheet decision of all time by a team. I've got the whole list of guys who were matched and not matched up in front. I don't think anybody else in the history of the lad, we're not going to go back to the 90s, but from 98 to 2006, there were no offer sheets. 2006.
It's like a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah. And then, things have kind of fired up a little bit since then, but most of these offer sheets are 3, 4, 5 million. Nobody's ever not matched an offer sheet of $2 million in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
It just, even at the time, they could have fit him in. Gage and I were talking about today. It almost seemed like the organization was so arrogant that they're like, "Oh yeah, well then you can leave.
I think
we don't want you." But from an asset perspective, you've got to look at it and say, "We've developed this guy. He looks like he's going to pop."
Yes,
and it's only going to cost you just over $2 million.
And I think in the subsequent months that have followed since this season, that sentiment, maybe they want to be like, "Screw us, screw you."
Yeah, but you're going to make emotional decisions. That should concern people.
We've seen that happen for less money, and I know, but you're right. But you shouldn't. Man, and the agent and Dylan Holloway made a play.
Yeah. They took something that was available to them.
And they used it.
But it wasn't such a ridiculous. It was 2 years, 4.58
I know.
Total.
And
you couldn't pay this guy this?
We did talk about, and us included, would Holloway have been given the same opportunity? Well, ultimately, and I hope to God, I'm pretty sure I said this and you said this, guys would get injured and there would be a time where he would be bumped up to the top 6.
And once he got there, he wasn't leaving
exactly.
Again. He wasn't leaving again.
He might have been behind.
But even then, you
might have been behind Arvidsson.
You could pay a kid that age $2 million to play on your third line.
Yes.
It just, that has to be up there. And chime in, the Nasty Chat 780, of all the mistakes that they've made over the last 15 years, it's top 3, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
It has to be.
And this was not a disgruntled player like Broberg was. And just to remind everybody, just because I know that's a package deal, those two.
But it's different situations,
yes,
right?
Exactly. Broberg was a $4.58 million. He wasn't too happy. You could just sense it talking to him and being around him. There's friction there. Dylan Holloway, happy-go-lucky, happy to be at Edmonton. His mom and dad could come up from Calgary, watch every game. It was a good scenario. Best case scenario. And it blew up in the Oilers' face. Happy via the Nasty Chat, I want to get to this, says, who cares if he's from St. Louis? LOL. And then someone added St. Louis as a whole. I'll tell you why St. Louis matters. And I don't think it's obvious to a lot of people in the hockey world. St. Louis's hockey community is very tight. And it has become more and more prominent. And guys, you just saw Patty Maroon got a standing ovation in St. Louis, even though he played for Chicago.
Yeah.
Who they hate. That is their rival. Patty Maroon helped deliver a Stanley Cup to his hometown for the first time ever. St. Louis's hockey community is, I guarantee there's probably politics there, but it's very tight-knit. Everyone knows everybody, and everybody seems to, for the most part, support everyone. So there is a calling to come back home. So as soon as I hear or see St. Louis, the guys from St. Louis, I'm like, oh, Probably wants to
a
be
guy who would fit in pretty well with that group there,
Hell,
too, like
yeah.
age-wise and the way he could play.
So Happy, that's why St. Louis matters. That's why Trent Frederick being from St. Louis matters. Okay? Just for those, because and not everybody knows that. But the St. Louis hockey community, it's starting to pump out a lot of
That's
great
a fair
players.
reason to be concerned then about this, right?
The
Like,
Blues alumni does a great job there. And now guys come home, if you will, to St. Louis. And oh, by the way, they're winning again. They're resuscitating their season. That's why it's important and of note. Just and Happy, like it's natural to be like, why the hell does St. Louis matter? Be like saying like, why do guys in what does Columbus have to do with this? Bless you. Okay. Anyway, that's Happy. That's the rationale. And anytime I see something about St. Louis, because I know firsthand the connection from players to St. Louis. They go off, they play somewhere else, then they come home. Kind of like CFL players. That's how I would describe it. All right, 780-218-9999. Getting to the nasty chat as well. It's the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza, Gazzola, and Nielson. Nielson's got the tissues going. Are you sneezing because of the cologne, perhaps? No. He's going to be okay. You're all right.
I mean, I think I was getting a little bit sneezy before the cologne.
I had a couple of sneezes.
It would be funny if I was allergic to cologne like Sean today. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Anyway,
Great stuff.
I finished the point on why St. Louis matters, the
Yeah.
city. And no, it is not the most desirable city. It has like nice suburbs, like Clayton's supposed to be really nice. But like I said, like it is, there's a calling to come home, it seems like. And these guys who are from there tend to do that.
KB over in the chat says, Dusty is okay. This Holloway situation is making me physically sick as well. My record is 17 straight sneezes.
Yikes.
I might need to do that to clear out the sinuses a bit. I'm just like, you know how like you can feel it up here and then it gets kind of almost in behind your eyes?
Yes.
I don't know what it is. Just like the last 2 days since I came back from Disneyland, it's just been bothering me. I want to get to this text from One-Eyed Pete.
All right.
Because I understand where he's coming from. Pete, don't get me wrong. Completely understand where you're coming from, but I'm going to lay it out why I think this is still something that we need to discuss. One-Eyed Pete says, is it only me or am I wrong with the enough with the Holloway talk? It's done and over. Get over it. Okay, now I understand where he's coming from.
Absolutely.
I get it. But this was a decision that was made by a management group that is still here and is supposed to lead this team to a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
That was a horrible decision. Now, should we just trust them to make good decisions moving forward? Was it made on the emotional, like, oh, screw you, we don't need you? Well, guess what? You did need him. So, like, as long as this management group is here, the Holloway thing is going to be something we point back to, especially if the guy scores 30 this year and becomes a 30-goal guy moving forward. Like, it's just, it's relevant because it's horrible asset management by the group that's currently in charge. That's why it's relevant to discuss.
Of course.
So anyway, I understand where you're coming from.
Stain that won't go away.
But it's just that's reality right now.
And it's emphasized even more given the plight of the team currently.
780-218-9999. Big Dave is in. Big Dave, well written out text here. Guys, am I wrong to feel an all-time low when it comes to confidence in the Oilers? It's most likely they play LA in the first round, and outside of a guy named Draisaitl, they can't finish. Stu is playing the worst I've ever seen him, and the D looks lost at the moment. Have they fired their skills coach? Because it's been very apparent in the last two games that most of this roster is completely incapable of scoring. When this team went 16 in a row last year, they were doing it with contributions from the whole lineup. I'm not feeling good about the playoffs and the direction this team is headed.
I don't believe they have a skills coach. They have a skating coach, Olympic gold medalist David Pelche, but he's not working on their stick handling and their puck placement on their shots. Yeah, it looks a little bleak right now, but I still, and I alluded to this on the hangout, like the 88 Oilers, Glenn Anderson telling me that was our best team. I was like, really? You guys didn't break records or anything like that? He goes, we just knew how to win in the playoffs. I hope, for the sake of the fan base, that this, now don't get me wrong, this Oilers team has not had championship caliber pedigree, but they almost got it last year. I hope that they're just fine-tuning or getting ready to bring their A game in the postseason, regardless of the opponent, as Glenn Anderson alluded to. Now, don't get me wrong, that was 37 years ago. Hockey's a bit different now. Way more teams. Skill levels different. Strategy and style completely different. But I understand the rationale and the mindset of a team. It's like, okay, we haven't been our best, but we can still do this. We know how to win in the playoffs. Edmonton went 16-2 that year in the postseason. Do I think that's going to happen this year? No, not
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something. It'd shut everybody up, and then everybody would be talking at the late part of June, be like, I knew it all along. I wasn't worried at the end of March. They were fine. It was okay. It was such a smart play to keep McDavid and Draisaitl out. Let them get healthy. They were beasts in the playoffs. I look forward to that potential conversation. I'm hopeful.
I don't know if this was a text over in the chat. It's a busy day. People are fired up, understandably. Hammer the thumbs up if you're watching over on YouTube. Make sure you stick around. Conversation will continue with Hernan and Gage. We like to think that we can tell you how it is here at EST. Who's the number 6 going into the playoffs?
Well, I'll tell you what. The way Ty Emberson played, it ain't him.
I know. That's why I ask. Like, is it Stetcher? Are you rolling Stetcher and Kulak as your third pair? It's not Klingberg.
It's not Klingberg.
It's not Klingberg. Klingberg looks like a guy who doesn't have the wheels because he's been through a bunch of surgeries. And, I mean, that's what it looks like to me, at least.
It might have to be Stetcher, and you might have to limit his minutes, and you might have to rely heavily on the 5 guys.
So what's happened with Emberson? Because Emberson was arrow up for most of the season.
I know. He had sat out, the previous 4. His game had been slowly dipping. I think he's just approaching 100 games total in the NHL. I wouldn't give up on him by any means, but I'm sure he's going to play a couple games down the stretch here, and they try to pump him up, get him back to playing decent hockey. Maybe the stretch drive style, speed, pace, he needs to catch up to, because his game was declining a little bit, and then to the point where they were like, we need to get Troy Stetcher in here, and then they just kept going to Stetcher and over and over and over. And then Stetcher last night, what did he play? Like 9 minutes, breaks his stick. They had him up at forward at one
a little
point.
Bit. I think it'll be Emberson. I think the coaching staff will go. I think they'll go with.
Then
Emberson.
He's going to have to play some good hockey and show them that he can provide.
He could be. This is a guy who still hasn't played a lot of games, right?
Exactly.
He's going to have some of these ups and downs, and you're just going to have to be. You're just going to have to be patient, I think, with him at times. All right, Nasty Chat's moving along. If you are watching over on YouTube, smash that thumbs up for us. What are you laughing at?
Big Dave.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Can I read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Big Dave says, Tommy, I love ya, but put hope in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first. Well, Poop's winning right now.
It would be.
It would be.
Yeah, that's gross.
I know, that's nasty.
CJ in Chicago.
Hey, CJ.
Plus 22 in Chicago. Sun is shining, and I'm walking home listening to the Oil Stream, about to play hooky this afternoon on a patio. The Oil have me feeling down, but nothing a crisp rosé can't fix.
Aha.
TGIF. God.
She's a fancy lady.
Yeah, that's going to be...
that's CJ.
Enjoy that.
CJ. Oh.
Are you doing Forrest Gump voice? Were you just doing Forrest Gump voice for Jenna? Jenna, CJ? I love Jenna.
CJ's great. Yeah. I wish it was 22, and I would even indulge in a rosé.
What's rosé? It's a type of like a light wine?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've had much rosé in my time.
You know what? It's good every now and then.
Not a big rosé guy.
22 on a patio on March 28th would be lovely. I'm going to go and shovel my car out of the snow right away here. But hello, CJ.
Rip City Step says, guys, why does the side panel say Oilers lose HNICBOA? Has Hernan conceded the game tomorrow? It is funny, actually, because if you look over at the list on the right side, it says today, Oilers lose, Hockey Night in Canada, Battle of Alberta.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Maybe it is a futuristic sort of thing. Your post-game show, if they lose tomorrow night, will be, and I don't care who the lineup is, your post-game show is going to be insane tomorrow night.
As it should be.
If they lose to the Flames. The Flames will be going hard. Oilers will have to be smarter with the puck. and find a way to finish a little bit. Calgary doesn't finish much either. Are you expecting a low-scoring game then?
No.
You think it'll open it up a little bit?
Yeah.
It opens up a little bit. I think the Oil will take that down. What do you think of Rodrigue last night?
I was happy for him because I remember when he was playing, I think he was playing in St. Albert. When Sly first came up, was Freddie Shabbat's second in command.
Yeah, okay.
And then Sly took over in Baco. Very happy for him. Nice kid. And made a couple of nice saves. That goal was it McCann batted home? That was just nice. And you even saw Bouchard go like this.
Yeah.
He's confused. Yeah. He swung it out of the air in honor and celebration of opening day.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one does make sense.
That was a nod to the Mariners right there, Jared McCann. Good for Ollie Rodrigue. You know what was cool and nice to see? He got in there and he was kind of assertive and didn't seem intimidated by the moment or anything like that. He's 23 years old now. He's been in the system for a while. He played the night before in Bakersfield, 3-2 loss in a shootout, or was it overtime, to the Colorado Eagles, made 35 saves on 38 shots. Good for him. Do I think he's the savior like we were saying at BP's last night? No. But happy he got into a game. And hey, if anything, in that 20 minutes he played, maybe he showed you he's got the mindset that if they need him to play games, he's not going to wilt away.
Yeah.
He's ready. Like, give me a shot. Put me in, coach. I like that. That's the kind of thing I picked up on.
Brad in Victoria, where it's probably pretty nice today.
Yeah.
Brad in Victoria texts in and says, great discussion today. I'm feeling pretty down about the future of this team. Only talent we have under 25 is Bouchard, Podkolzin, Emerson, and Savoy. Bouchard is the only top talent of any of these guys. McDavid and Draisaitl and Ekholm aren't getting younger. I hate to keep bringing it up, but how different does this team look with Holloway and Broberg in the future as emerging talent? They'll almost need another mini rebuild here to get some young guys. Holland was far from perfect, but I feel significantly worse with JJ and Bowman in charge. You're absolutely right. It was a decision made in arrogance to spite these guys, not a business decision. Horrific asset management. That comes from Brad in Victoria.
Well, and not to go back too much, but I'll do it. When they went and traded for Podkolzin right before the deadline to match.
To match Holloway, yeah.
I remember thinking, I'm like, that's not a good sign.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was not a cap issue.
Nope.
Dylan Holloway was not a cap issue.
Even Cody, Cass and I were talking about it yesterday. CC wasn't happy being traded. He wanted to stay here. Reed did an interview with him after the Dallas game, and you could even tell. He talked about how hard it is to come back here.
Yeah.
They didn't need to get rid of Cody Ceci after that either.
Yeah, Jackson, I mean, that's why, because we've been asked a number of times, like, does this fall on the players? Does it fall on the coaching or management? And look, they're still going to be a playoff team. I still think they'll beat the Kings because McDavid and Draisaitl are extraordinary, and we'll see where it goes from there. I could end up being wrong. But this was a team that was so close to the Stanley Cup, and you just went out and made it older and slower and blew up a group that had been building together for multiple years, which is a fascinating decision when you look back on it now.
Joe says, let's move on from CC. He is a terrible defenseman. Joe, I will vehemently disagree with you. He's a good defenseman in the NHL.
You'd rather him on the third pair with Kulak right now than what they're rotating through.
Dude. Yeah.
All right. If you're over in the chat, keep those rolling in, and we'll get to a few of those. Big Uke says, Rodrigue is our Binnington Stanley Cup. Here they come.
Look out.
Joe says, I'm not worried about beating the Kings, but I am worried about coming out of that series unscathed. Statue Boss Production says, I thought after the Podkolzin trade that they would match Broberg. And we kind of did think that. Remember? Because it's like, oh, they're going to match Podkolzin. They'll let Holloway go, but they traded CC and they got the money and they'll keep Broberg. And then they just decided to do nothing. What's up, Glue Guy? Green onion cake. Yeah, I had it a bunch.
Are you just teasing Zach with food?
Don't necessarily love it. And you have? Oh, I don't know. I'm not trying it right now, if that's what you're asking. Cuz! Try it. Don't pressure me into this. I'm the boss. What is this?
Green onion cake.
I don't even know what this is. I never heard of it. What?
There is like a Thai sauce.
Give me the dip. Now, where would one find a green onion cake?
At the Fringe.
Everywhere? That's just so disappointed in me right now. I can't really smell. Oh, look, there's a piece of green onion in it.
Green onion's good. Oh, yeah. Where did you go? I know you wanted to go for lunch. The
right,
pho
fine,
place.
whatever.
Belsey loves that
It's
pho
a Friday,
place.
eh?
Friday.
No? Well, I want to.
Have a bite. That's just the breading.
Oh, is there something in there?
We have an audience here.
Shut up, Zach.
Unreal. What do you think? Smells great.
That dip's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the parts I bit, they were okay. Is there more to it? Let me try.
Take a big huff.
I like it. I like it. I like green onion cakes.
Get an applause on the board going.
Wow. Thanks, man. I'm going to have the rest
You
of this.
don't have that? Zach?
Hey, DJ, I found one that I liked.
Now give the rest of it to Zach because he's a hungry boy. No?
Ethan Martyr says,
Okay.
I'm getting a little bit of green onion hanging
It's
around.
fine. It's fine. Not my favorite, but certainly not
That's
my...
okay, though.
Yeah.
The sweet Thai chili dip is pretty good.
That stuff's great. Very, very good. We have like 7 minutes left.
What,
got
for
it.
this?
No, just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ESC. I mean, what's coming up on ESC afternoons, by the way, Zach? What do you guys got going on there?
Look at that hat he's got today.
Yeah,
Original
the
six.
original six. All 6 original.
Did you
teams,
find that
yeah.
thrifting?
No, I bought it brand new.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he's
Seems
got
like
the
something you would have found
780.
thrifting.
780 shirt too. Represent.
All
Very
right,
nice.
I got to, man.
We got
Well,
more stuff coming down the pipe with 780.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, let's
Collab.
go. I love their.
We got our EST NWO design shirts that are going to be available there.
That's awesome. And
Yeah. The door's working on them right now.
the shirt quality and cut, I really like from 780.
Yeah.
very
Yeah, that's pretty
comfortable.
exciting, actually.
Yeah.
He sent me a picture of them. They're all starting to stack up. He's going to have
Beauty.
12 in every store.
Nice.
So it should be good.
Let's do it.
Anyway,
Support
Zach,
local.
what's coming up?
Darn right. Well, there was a lot of highlights and I guess not a lot of highlights, but a lot of lowlights from last game. So,
Oh, yes.
they'll cover the game, not during highlights and lowlights. I don't think there's going to be
I
any
think
video
today's
of that one.
segment we can just call low lights.
Yeah. Low lights.
there you
Zach to
go.
the Future is back. With
good.
the twist though.
Great.
What's the twist?
They're going to be giving me a name, a hockey name, sports name from the 80s and 90s. I don't know the name. I'm going to have to try and pronounce it.
Gord Kluzak.
Perhaps, maybe Strombopoulos.
Well, you're going
or
to have
something.
to you're going to have to pronounce it.
Yeah, so they're going to give me
you know
the
what?
spelling of it.
Peter
It's kinda like word
Sidorkowicz.
of
I
mouth.
was just going to guess. I heard Hernan the other way say he I guarantee it's Peter
The
Sidorkowicz.
Polish prince.
Why are you spoiling it?
We're
Yes.
not.
They might have to change it now. He said the first name's normal. Like
Yeah,
the
it's-
last name
Peter
just
Sidorkowicz.
Has to
Guaranteed.
be. Yeah.
Peter
I don't think I've
Sidorkowicz.
ever been as sure about anything in my entire life
Yeah.
than that name that he's going to give you today is Peter Sidorkowicz.
And Frank Pietrangelo, that people still to this day
And that's
pronounce.
just Pi Trangelo.
Yeah. And they'll still say Peter Angelo. And it's
Petey
so wrong.
Trangelo?
And even Alex Pietrangelo.
Petrangelo, yeah.
Yeah. But they go Peter Angelo. It's like, hey, dum. It's Pietrangelo.
It's not Peter.
It's
yeah.
not Peter.
Not like Peter.
It's going to be Sidorkowicz.
Has to be.
Sidorkowicz.
Are you learning?
Oh my gosh.
You're getting green onion cake too?
Look at you.
Oh, Zach.
With the Thai chili
This
sauce.
is
Blue guy.
this day's coming up, Zach. Are you learning on Zach to the Future? Because I feel like I'm watching and listening to
I'm
you
mostly
learn.
frustrated listening to Zach to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm
Oh, you
learning
did
a
ask
lot.
me for help that one time and I wasn't able to help you.
Yeah, unfortunately. I thought you would know that, but I know you're knowledgeable with movies and stuff from the 80s and 90s as well. I'm learning about how much I really don't know about
Yeah, makes
80s and
sense.
90s movies and how much I actually know about music from that time.
People will tell you it was the best era, but really there was some great
music?
stuff, music,
Yeah.
movies, and stuff. There was some great stuff from there.
The
There's
90s?
also a lot of crap.
Yeah, there's
There's a lot
some
of
stuff that I've missed out on, like
Yeah.
what was it, the Full House or something? They're quizzing me on.
Oh, Full House is great.
Yeah,
I met Auntie Becky. She's lovely.
Oh, what? Auntie
Fresh out
Becky,
of jail.
I got to know. Hernan. Is it Peter Sidorkowicz? For Back to the Future, Zach to the Future today? Is it Sidorkowicz? Okay.
Oh,
No.
All right, it's not
Oh,
Sidorkowicz.
okay.
We
Yeah,
were
I tried
guessing
to
it was
find some
Sidorkowicz.
hits. I was
Yeah.
like, so is it a former Oiler? And he's like, I'm not giving you anything, buddy.
Eldon Pokey Reddick,
Pokey as it sounds.
as it sounds.
Somebody's saying green onion cakes were invented in Edmonton.
They
Nice.
were.
How do you know this?
In foods class in grade 8, my
Really?
foods teacher told me. And yeah, I believed every word that she said.
Would you fail foods only to take it again the next semester?
See, we had it all the
good
way
question.
through. That's a great question, but I liked
I only got to do
advanced-
foods
yeah.
once. It was in grade 10, I think. We made pita pizzas, which I still make for my family today.
Nice.
Nice. I
Had 'em a
made
couple
green
nights
onion
ago.
cake in foods when I learned it.
I did taco salad and pita pizza.
Oh, so good.
And I still use them both today. Actually, it might have been grade 8 foods. Yeah, grade 8.
Yeah.
Did you take foods in grade 9 and 10 too?
Not in grade
No,
10.
no,
Once
no.
I hit high school, I was done.
I did not take foods, but I had accumulated a lot of credits in grade 11 and 12 that, and plus my mom worked at the school, which was interesting. So I would just join the foods class like a couple times
Just
a week.
because, yeah.
Shout out to Mrs. Robichaud and Mrs. Jubinville.
Nice.
Yeah. They would be like, Tom, are you coming to foods today? I was like, yep.
What was I going to say? Because we had it was foods.
Mm-hmm.
If we did that for like a quarter, and then we did woodwork for a quarter, then we did
Oh,
metalwork for a quarter, and then there was one other quarter we did. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, foods class was fun.
It was really good.
Yeah. No, that was, that was a good time.
All the girls were in there too. So you try to flirt,
Look at this guy.
strike out.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Chief Andy says Pizza 73 has a Skinner dinner meal now. Enjoy 2 large. Yeah, they do. They have their Pizza 74 deals. What
Yeah,
it is. Pizza 74 plastered up behind the net with them the other night.
Very clever. That was well done.
Yeah. Bold move hopping on with a guy who just gets torched by fans all the time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's from a marketing perspective. Are they not aware of what people say about this poor bastard?
I know. But this was probably well in the works before.
Yeah, you're right. Probably
And
took a while.
I
to
have a
execute
quick
this thing.
little story about Pizza 73 and one of our analysts, Luke Gazdick, who's fantastic.
Yeah.
I remember it was after a practice one day, and Gaz is like, "Hey, Gaz," and I'm like, "What's up, Gaz?" He's like, "Can you put me in touch with like whoever our pizza place is, like that would do a sponsorship with an Oiler?" And I'm like, "Dude, Pizza 73."
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, do you have a contact?" I'm like, "No." Do I look like the marketing
Yeah.
/ sales team? He's like, "Well, can you put them in touch or tell somebody?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, are you looking to make extra money or what do you want? He's like, "No, man, I just want free pizza."
That's it.
And it never went anywhere. He's like, "No, I just want free pizza." Good job.
I mean, he
Pizza
wasn't on a big
74.
ticket. I understand why he would want some free pizza.
Yeah. Gaz.
But
he-
still, his roommates could have afforded pizza for him.
Oh, yeah. But I think it's just, that's the type of guy
He's a
he
beauty.
is. He's
That's
just
what he is.
he's just a down to earth guy.
All right, that's going to do it for the oil stream today. We've got EST afternoons locked and loaded with Hernan and Gager. As always, the oil stream brought to you by Boston Pizza. Shout out to Tony and Curtis last night. Westgate Boston
Awesome.
Pizza looked like an amazing time, and it was a great time on Wednesday afternoon for the oil stream as well. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. I'll be back on Monday morning, 6 o'clock. The Nielsen Show. You got the big Battle of Alberta tomorrow night, pre and
sir.
post game. It's going to be a fun one either way. Something good or something bad's coming out of that one. So
Hey.
that'll be a good one. Last night's game, flush it. Don't worry about it. For Tommy, I'm Dusty. Take it easy.